Hi everyone. We have a very diverse team here. I'm Kelvin, I'm a product manager. This is Ruben, he's a software engineering student at Queen's, and this is Janet, she's a GP, and this is Isaiah, he's a ward doctor. Brenda, does she look familiar to you? She can be a mother, a nan, your favorite neighbor, your friend, or she's been taken to hospital, and with the hope that when she goes into hospital, she'll be treated with care, dignity, and she'll be safe. But most importantly, that she returns back home in good health. However, that hope relies on a system that is stretched, that's fragmented, and is quietly failing. And that one particular issue that's being dealt with right now is the discharge process. And a single document, which is the discharge letter, that most doctors have to prepare. Did you know that it takes 30 to 60 minutes for a ward doctor to prepare that document? And here's the most surprising part. Most of these ward doctors never set eyes on those patients. So most times when the patients are getting discharged, they have to quickly rush through it and get it done. This leads to errors. This leads to failed or mismanaged documentations and medications. And now, our system here that we spent the weekend working on is a self-writing discharge letter, and we've called that a discharge letter that writes itself.
Thank you, Kelvin. So we mapped both the patient journey through hospital to home and this single document that serves as the critical clinical transfer at this transition of care. As a GP, we get these letters every day, anybody being discharged from hospital, and although we don't want to drop the baton, it's really difficult sometimes with missing information to fill in the gaps, especially when it comes to medication, getting the patient's discharge medication right. And if we look at the number of patients coming home from hospital and number of medications that they are taking, this translates to real potential harm to patients. It's not the hard-pressed foundation doctor, I don't want to lay criticism at the door of the hard-pressed foundation doctor, who is often making these documents in the hour before the patient is leaving to let them go home. So let's look at what happens there. What is their role? Isaiah?
Generally, we've seen how important the discharge letter is, and how important the discharge letter is, and then on the ward there are a lot of pressures with jobs to be done, and then you have the discharge letter to do. Sometimes you come on the ward and you have a discharge letter to prepare for a patient you've never seen, and the patient has been on the ward for like 2 weeks, and the patient is going home the next day or even that same day, and you need to rush through doing these discharge letters. And there are some information that you really want to put in, but you can't find them. So that's why we've come up with a solution that writes the discharge letter itself, such that from admission, you have it quietly building and building, such that when a discharge date is set, you can generate this data, and once there's a missing information, it's being flagged with the senior clinician doing ward rounds, and that is addressed, and we now have a very important information all in the just a demo. Basically, this is just, you generate the letter, then it gives a generated letter, and it flags the medication because there's an information missing. But for me, why it was stopped, there's no reason. So during ward rounds, that will be addressed before the letter is being sent out. I'll just be handing over how we'll do this.
Somebody asked about the demo.
Do any of the judges want to ask to see the demo?
Yes, please.
Go to the demo, please.
So I was in charge of the technical side of things. So we're saying about getting a database through with the electronic health records, and then it would feed into a large language model, AI, and then using a RAG model, it would then put out feedback, and then we could use that to fill in the discharge paper. So here is just a very basic model. It's nothing nice looking, really, but that is the dashboard that you would have then had. That whole nice version of it was on the slide in the video. But if you go here, this is patient 1, and it fills in all of the patient 1's data. This would then be AI generated for any of the explanations for the reasons for different things happening. But the idea is that whenever you try to discharge any patient, it would then fill in all of their data automatically, and that would save a lot of time for ward doctors. And this would then be overseen by a clinical team, so then no errors can go through, and the doctors actually have to sign it off themselves, so then they know there's no issues coming back from the AI feedback.
Okay. Any questions? Are there questions? You go first.
I was going to ask 2 quick questions. Number 1, is there a version that you can give to the patient? Can you take this letter and make it patient understandable? Actually, that's. I'll just stick with one.
Usually the letters are printed and sent to the GP, and a copy is also given to the patient. So
But does the patient understand it?
Yes, so basically it's extracting and giving it in clear terms that the patient would understand, and the doctor would just proofread and also see that it's information that the patient would understand.
I'm David, and you can pass the baton on to me in primary care, okay? But when you're passing that baton, we have 120 workflows to work through a day. Your letter is one of 120. How does this help to focus the key message that I need to take on in primary care more effectively? And how do you not overload me with data that I don't need to know? You have 20 seconds to catch my attention.
High quality, complete clinical team from senior members down to juniors, and a very tight, agreed minimum data set to send out to the GP.
Okay. Well done. Well done.